Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. It's Kay. The channel is a read, a love, a listen, and I'm here today to do my most anticipated reads for 2021. But I have been away for a while. I know you guys are like, where have you been all my life? Thank you to all my subscribers who subscribe to me and my subscribers who have been down for me for as soon as this channel has started. And I'm just thankful, and I hope you guys stay with me and watch me grow and elevate and learn, and also be here to see all the things, because not just books. I mean, as you can see, I have locks, so woo. I just started my lock journey in October or the beginning of November. I decided to make a list of books that I anticipate that are featuring memoirs, adult fiction, YA, fantasy, sci-fi. I think I even have a middle grade book on here. I just wanted to include a lot of things that I am definitely excited about. So let's get into it. So Amari and the Night Brothers is by B.B. Alston. This book comes out January 19th, 2021. And it is a middle grade book about Amari, who discovers a magical and supernatural world after her brother goes missing, and she receives a briefcase, and I think it was sent to her by her missing brother. This will be a middle grade book, and I am definitely excited. First of all, the cover is gorgeous. I see that this book is getting a lot of promotion on Twitter and Instagram and all over the internet. Next book on my list that I'm anticipating is called Just As I Am by Cicely Tyson, and it's a memoir. This book is coming out January 26, 2021. And I mean, why would I not want to read this? It's about the legendary and iconic actress Cicely Tyson, and it will be wonderful to hear more about who she is as a woman outside of just being an actress, because that's mainly what I know her from. So I would definitely love to hear her story. So the next book that I am excited about, this is the last January release that I have. It is called Wings of Ebony by Elle, and I hadn't heard of this book prior to joining Twitter. And once I joined Twitter, I saw a lot of people retweeting, and just as I learned more about the author and her journey to getting her book written and published and all that kind of stuff, I definitely was like, wow. And then to see what the story is about, I actually this is another book that I pre-ordered, novel where a teen who lives in Houston discovers that she has a godly ancestor. So I have just two for February. I have the Gilded one by Namina Forna. This comes out on February 9th. So this story is where the main character attends a blood ceremony and her blood turns gold. She's given two choices: stay in the village and submit to her fate, or leave and fight for an emperor in an army of girls just like her. And I believe they're called the Alakai. They're near immortals with a rare gift. And number two on my list is Honey Girl by Morgan Rogers. This book comes out February 23rd, 2021, and it is a story where a young woman goes to Vegas and ends up marrying a woman. A young woman's life falls apart after she meets her wife, and it just shows how her life plans don't necessarily go as she planned. All right, now March. I have quite a few for March. Okay, so the first one for the March releases is called Reign of the Phoenix. It'll be a part of the Reign of the Elites collection. The first story, which is by Jessica K. So the next book on the list is called The Firekeeper's Daughter by Angeline Boulay, and this comes out on March 2nd. It is a YA thriller about a Native American teen who has to root out the corruption in her community, and I believe that'll be very interesting because I have personally have not read too many YA thrillers. All right, the next story on the list is The Conductors by Nicole Glover. This also comes out on March 2nd, and it is set in post-Civil War Philadelphia, and it features Hetty Rhodes, magic user and former Underground Railroad conductor. So I think this will be a wonderful story to check out because a lot of times we don't get that kind of story from post-Civil War, and I thought it'd be just an interesting perspective to hear. Okay, so this next book on my list is called Red Island House by Andrea Leigh, and it comes out on March 23rd. It is set in Madagascar, and it says that it is a sweeping novel about marriage, loyalty, identity, heritage, fate, freedom, and it reintroduces readers to a powerhouse literary voice in an extravagantly lush and enchanted world. And I believe this is awesome because I have not ever read any stories about Madagascar. I have watched some documentaries about Madagascar, and I thought it would be interesting just to see how this story uses the history and culture of people from Madagascar. The next book on the list I'm excited for is called The Unbroken. It's Magic of the Lost Book 1 by C.L. Clark. This also comes out on March 23rd, and it is a sapphic North Africa fantasy inspired, and it features a cranky princess and a cranky soldier. I think that sounds intriguing, and I haven't read too many North African inspired fantasies, so it would be wonderful to see how that is. Number 6 is Rule of Wolves by Leigh Bardugo. It is the second book in the Nikolai duology, and I previously started the first one, but I haven't finished it, so I didn't want to know too much just in case there were any spoilers. And that book comes out on March 30th, 2021. And the last book in March that I am anticipating is called Wild Women and the Blues. This book comes out March 30th, and it is a jazz age historical fiction set in Chicago. All right, now we're into the April releases. So I just have 2, and the first one is definitely already on everybody's TBR. It is called Witches Steeped in Gold. I know a lot of people love the cover. I do too. It is gorgeous. It is a Jamaican-inspired witch story about sworn enemies who team up after they have a mutual threat. And it's black girl magic. Definitely cannot wait to read that one. And also number 2 I have is The Infinity Courts by Akemi Bowman. This book comes out on April 6, 2021. And an 18-year-old girl gets murdered just as her life is beginning and ends up in a place called Infinity. So basically there is an AI virtual assistant called Ophelia, and she's basically a tyrant and taking over this part of the world, and the main character, he is trying to stop her from eradicating human existence. It comes out on May 4th. It is called Arsenic and Adobo. It is by Mia P. Manansala, and it comes out May 4th. Like I said, may the 4th be with you. It's a cozy mystery featuring a Filipina American protagonist who the cops treat as the main suspect after her ex-boyfriend is murdered in her restaurant or her family's restaurant. So I thought that would be really interesting to read. I don't believe I've ever read a story with a Filipina American main character or protagonist, so I definitely can't wait to check it out. Plus I love a good cozy mystery. Look at the cover art. It is gorgeous. It honestly looks like it could be a tattoo. This is a work of art. This book is called Son of the Storm by Suyi Davies Okungbowa. This comes out on May 11th, and it is a young scholar's ambition threatens to reshape an empire determined to retain the might in this epic tale of violent conquest, buried histories, and forbidden magic. I definitely can't wait to read this. This is an adult fantasy book, and I am excited to read it because as much as I love YA fantasy, sometimes I just want to have older characters or just different types of stories. So I am definitely excited to read this. I have never read anything by this author before, but I definitely am excited, and I also believe it is African inspired, so that is awesome. Okay, so for my June releases, there are 4 books that I am anticipating. The first one is called Dead Dead Girls by Nekesa. This book comes out on June 1st. It is a jazz age Harlem murder mystery. So I definitely cannot wait. Another jazz fingers. No, jazz murder mystery. So awesome. Number 2 on the list is called Bacchanal by Veronica Henry. It comes out on June 1st, 2021. And it says, evil lives in a traveling carnival roaming the Depression-era South. But the carnival's newest act, a peculiar young woman with latent magical powers, may hold the key to defeating it. Her time has come. So that'll be interesting. Number 3 is Blood Like Magic by Liselle Sambury. This book comes out on June 15th, 2021. And I learned that she is part of AuthorTube on YouTube. So I definitely think that is amazing that we can support somebody who is on here. And this book is a rich, dark urban fantasy about a teen witch who is given a horrifying task. She has to sacrifice her first love. Problem is, she's never been in love. So not only does she have to do this, she has to find the perfect guy before she can kill him. And number 4 on the list is called Girls of Might and Magic. This is an anthology that is coming out June 22nd. And it says find your might, discover your magic. And there will be 20 authors featured in this, and they're all coming to age stories. For July, I am anticipating The Poison Heart by Kaylin Bayron. The book comes out on July 6th. It is an own voices author fantasy retelling of The Secret Garden, and it features a girl with a unique and deadly gift. First of all, when I saw the cover, I was so intrigued by this, and The Secret Garden is one of my favorite books that I read as a kid, and I love the movie adaptations. Alright, so for August, we have Bad Witch Burning by Jessica Lewis. It's out on August 24th, and this is a book with literal black girl magic. Number 2 is Requiem of Silence by Elle Penelope. This comes out on August 17th. It is part of the Earth Slinger series, and this is the conclusion. So it's the 4th book, and I am definitely excited about that because I actually have right here on the shelf, so I can't wait to add it. And I remember when she debuted the cover, I was super excited. I cannot wait. September, we have Sweet Hand by N.G. Peltier. It comes out on September 10th. It is an island romance. Enemies to lover, and bridesmaid and a groomsman who don't like each other, but we know how that goes. They'll eventually come together and fall in love. Can't wait to read this. It is set in the Caribbean, so that is always fun to read. And last on my list is Empire of the Vampire by Jay Kristoff. There is no release date. It just says fall 2021, but anything vampire related I definitely would like to read, and plus I can definitely do it for like any kind of spooky-thon or any October scare reads. So that is my list of my anticipated reads for 2021. Hope you liked the books. Add them to your Goodreads, or if you have Storygraph. Also, I have Twitter and Instagram now, so follow me on there, and I will post about books and all things bookish, and just subscribing to my channel, a like, comment, and I'll see you on the next video.